The BNP have been in the papers recently. I've seen a bit of racist graffiti that kind of sums up the whole thing. It's in a kind of deprived housing area. On a newsagent, somebody spray painted BNP, and below the BNP, they drew a swastika. Right? Now, beside this swastika were a couple of unsuccessful attempts at drawing a swastika. They'd obviously misjudged the complexity of the operation. And rather than spray paint over the failed attempts, they left them there. They must have thought you get some form of credit for showing you're working. I was reading the government plans to provide musical instruments to children, like young people from deprived areas, because that'll solve the problems. Musical instruments. No. What's up, son? Your mum's a crack addict. Your dad's in jail. Don't worry. Have a Glockenspiel spell. Problem solved. Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you. Everything's fine. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A lot of fond memories growing up. The good old days. I liked school. My favourite class at school was woodwork. Remember craft and design? I never actually liked the subject. I liked the teacher. See, everybody's woodwork teacher was an alcoholic. I remember this guy, our woodwork teacher. He would just be sitting at his desk about 10 minutes in to the woodwork lesson, and he's not even spoke a word. Right? Just sitting there, going, and he'd face the class and just say, right kids, right children, I've had a tough weekend. I was supposed to go to IKEA, but I spent my wages in odd bins. So one of yous wee pricks make me a spice rack. And when you were 12 years old, that was pressure. When a middle-aged man's marriage depends on your abilities with a tube of glue and a bandsaw. I left school. After school, I remember looking for a job, unemployed, in the job centre. First job you see, a customer service advisor's assistant. One of these jobs, it just gets shiter and shiter every word they use. Just goes mwah, mwah, mwah. Basically means you make the tea for the guy that makes the coffee. Like, everything else is like experience required and qualifications needed. And I was just a dickhead, right? Just left school, don't have much of that. Last option you've got, you can join the army. Right? You've got the British Army recruitment desk. The guy's there. Go on, come on, son. Be the best. And I'm thinking, me, join the army, be the best. T-Mobile just said, I don't have enough qualifications to sell phones. Microsoft just said, I don't have enough experience to answer phones. And you want to give me a machine gun? You don't need to be in the army these days to get a gun if you're a young person. A lot of gun crime on the streets, a lot of caps getting popped. I don't really know the solutions. I just know the problems. It used to be in the UK, at 14 years old, you could legally be in possession of an air rifle, whilst it's not a proper gun, it's still SWAT, right? But that get moved to 17 years old, because you know, 17-year-olds, they're dead responsible. If somebody was pointing a gun at you, you'd be going, that's fine, he looks about 17. That's good. He knows what he's done. 17 years old to be in possession of a firearm, but you've got to be 18 before you can be in possession of fireworks. 17, you can shoot somebody dead, but you've got to wait a year before you can frighten the shite out of a cat. But drugs, I get offered drugs quite a lot in this game. You get offered the usual suspects like ecstasy, speed, and a drug called horse tranquilizer. You shouting yay or nay? There. I can understand people who don't know anything about drugs. Maybe trying ecstasy because it sounds quite good. Well, the connotations of the name, ecstasy. You think of states of euphoria and happiness. And then speed is pretty self-explanatory. Then horse tranquilizer. That hardly sounds the most sociable of evenings. The fact they've replaced the original name with the effect it has on a horse. I think that's the way every drug should be tested. Give a lot of them to horses, then you can see what it actually does to you. It would also make the Grand National pretty interesting. 20 quid on the one that's breakdancing, please. I was watching a programme about children from the opposite end of the social spectrum, a programme called My Super Sweet 16th. Anybody seen this? Don't get too excited, it's quite shite. I was watching it about 2 o'clock in the morning when the TV's quite shite. Anybody watch late night telly? You ever been up that late at night when the TV just goes, get to bed? There's nothing to see here. Unless you're a deaf baseball fan with a gambling problem. Peter. Does anybody watch these late night Channel 5 phone-in quiz shows? Anybody seen these, like Quiz Mania and The Cash Vault? It's just robbing drunk people. No, you come in at night, there's some guy going, okay, everybody, okay. Thanks for watching, okay. For £10,000, we're looking for a guy's name. You come home steaming. I know a guy's name. £10,000. I know a few guys' names. Watching this Super Sweet 16th, what it is, it's these millionaire parents and they've given their 15-year-old kids a budget to spend on their 16th birthday party. This one young guy, his dad gave him £200,000, right, as a budget to spend on his 16th birthday party. I'm watching this, thinking, if my dad had given me £200,000 to spend on my 16th birthday party, I would be dead. It would make for a more interesting TV show. Your 16th birthday party, you should be grateful for a bottle of Mad Dog 2020. And a smelly finger. Bad time for that hand gesture there, so.
It's me and the old man watching Match of the Day, watching the highlights. It gets to the kind of shite games, and I say, right, I think I'm going to go to bed, Dad. Good night. And he would continue the charade, and he'd say, "Are you off to bed, son?" Good night. And there was that mutual father and son, we both know what the plan is here. I would casually exit the living room nice and slowly. Good night. Hit the hallway and race up the stairs. Don't even consider looking in the fridge. Eyes on the prize. Upstairs, bedroom TV switched on. Go to number 6. That's when you see what he's watching. TVs are synchronised. 6, we're in. He's in control. A few minutes go by and he's still watching Match of the Day. That's fine. Well, he must be giving it a few minutes. You don't want to make it too obvious. He's done this before. 5 minutes go by. He's still watching Match of the Day. I'm thinking, come on, stick to the plan, Andy. I'm looking at the bottom left of the screen, waiting for the numbers to get typed in. The numbers that could make or break the evening's entertainment. Go on, give me your numbers, Andy, come on. 9, that's a good start, 9. Could not have hoped for a better start than a 9 there. 0, 5, the 10-minute preview. You're a dirty bastard, Dad, but I love you. So, we've got some celebrities in, as always, live at the Apollo. Who have we got? We've got the EastEnders cast. How are we doing, EastEnders? They're sitting right at the back. I don't mean the extras, I mean the real people. We're trying to ever get Phil Mitchell. No, where is he? He's up at King's Cross, dressed up as a ladyboy, trying to raise enough money to buy a pot noodle, isn't he? There's a record amount of complaints about the Phil Mitchell crack addict thing. Is that right? A record amount of complaints? You don't know. I'm speaking to Ian Bale. I'm a bit starstruck. I feel sorry at the major addictions. I feel sorry for gambling addicts. They're the people I really feel sorry for. Because at least if you're a drug addict or an alcoholic or a sex addict, at least you've got some good stories. No, a Gamblers Anonymous meeting. How boring would that be? I remember I put 20 quid on a greyhound. And it finished last. Right, no. Whereas a sex addiction meeting, I'd imagine that to be awesome. I got to the stage, I was spending my wages on strap-ons and gimp masks and WD-40. Sarah Beanie, where's Sarah Beanie? She's in the house. Sarah Beanie, how you doing, Sarah? At what stage of pregnancy are you at, Sarah? Are you? Sarah Beanie is always pregnant, isn't she? Sarah, what's your new show called? It's called Help, My House is Falling Down. So that's the kind of title of a show that would get me to watch it. And I like seeing distress and carnage. You don't want to watch MTV Cribs, watching some R&B star showing you his golden snooker table and stuff. I want to see MTV shitholes. That's what I like. There's some guy opening the door, keeping the chain on, and peeking round. A can of cider. I come in. This is my toaster. This is where the sink used to be. Sarah's got kids. I'm at that age that some of my cousins and friends are having children. No, that way you're in a family gathering and there's a newborn baby getting passed around the room like a joint. That way everybody's... And everybody's saying their piece. No, some people who have just got this natural rapport when they speak to kids, they can just go, oh, look at you, oh, he's cheeky, are you cheeky face, oh. Are you telling me a little story? Oh. It's getting closer and closer to me and I'm thinking, wow, I need to pretend I give a shit. The baby reaches me and I just sort of freeze up. I'm going, oh, how you doing, mate? When the baby feels the tension, starts to cry, everybody looks at me as if I'm in the wrong here. No, toughen up, you wee prick. We're in the middle of an obesity epidemic. Have we got any fat people in the audience? Because people have got flawed perceptions of their actual size. I'll use women as an example here. You know, you get skinny girls, they think they're chubby. Chubby girls think they're fat. Fat girls think they're obese. And then obese girls think they're supermodels. They're the happy people. They're the ones hanging out of limousine windows on a Friday night going, ah! And the driver's there going, can you lean in, please? You're going to tip this thing. I know it's Christine's hen night, but I don't have a tax disc. Get in. We've got Olympic medalist swimmer Sharon Davis. Let's hear for Sharon. That's enough, that's enough. It was only a silver. That's enough. You well went by the silver. I took up swimming. I tried to go swimming. I went to my local public pool. Not a private fancy gym, a local pool, a council pool where anybody can go. And by that, they mean anybody can go. I was there, public pool. I'd done my length. And I stopped. But I made it look cool. Not that way you put your elbows up on the tiles. Can't wait to go and grab a smoothie. Now, if you've got a bit of a waist, you do need to shop in cheap clothes shops. Not if you walk in somewhere trendy, like somewhere like River Island or Top Shop, you know, somewhere like that. And some boy band freak show comes bouncing across to serve, you know, the people who work in these places. They don't walk, they bounce. Hey man, yeah. Well, that energy and enthusiasm that oozes from people who have never been punched in the face. And you asked this guy, I had to ask his assistants, I said, excuse me mate, can I try on these jeans in a 36-inch waist? And the guy's enthusiasm just drained. And he looked at me. You know that way you would look at somebody if they just took a shite in your kettle? Primark, they've started selling Che Guevara t-shirts. That's a fitting testament to the man's legacy, isn't it? Che Guevara. Che Guevara, he fought for the poor and oppressed in South America. Now his face has been stitched onto t-shirts by the poor and oppressed in Southeast Asia to be worn by the poor and oppressed in Southeast London. That's where I stay when I come to London, South East London, kind of Dulwich sort of area. There's a lot of knife crime, a lot of crime. I don't really know the solutions to that particular problem, but I think a start would be to maybe close the shops that sell the weapons in the first place. Now you get these high street shops that sell crossbows to guys in shell suits. Not these places. Shops that sell thousands of baseball bats every year, but have never sold any baseballs. No, the Peckham Rye, Red Sox. I've not had a game in a while. I was in one of these places, done a bit of research, and the only security measure, if you want to buy a violent weapon, is you need to fill in a form leaving your name and address, so if anything happens, you can be traced for questioning. And that's the theory. But which self-respecting nutcase buying a weapon would leave their real name and address? Well, I picture some police investigation team going through the book and saying, excuse me, shop owner, says here, you sold a samurai sword to Bert and Ernie from 24 Sesame Street. And some new guy cop, he'd get sent on a wild goose chase somewhere. Sesame Street not showing up on the sat-nav. Putting down the window for directions. Going, excuse me, mate, excuse me. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame? That's a wind-up, isn't it?